Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, some people call me Mr. Bardui. And if you're from the 767 Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me what? Little boy. If you're from St. Luke's Parish, aka La Puente, you call me Luku boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. How are you beautiful people doing? Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm hoping everyone's doing well. Let's see as people are starting to come in. Let me make sure it's showing on all my pages so we can move from there. Let's just double check. Showtime. Let me send it to this person. Showtime now. Showtime now. People are asking. So how are you? How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing fine, man. It's a new year. Let me just double check, make sure we are being shown live. Yes, we are. We are being shown live right now. So I can actually do that. I'm so excited, man. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. How are you beautiful people doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. Say something in the chat so I know that you are there so I can holler at you. I'm going to say good evening to all. Let me type it in. Good evening, so that everyone can see the chat. All right. Good evening, all. Let me fix that. Good. Good. It's acting up. Good evening, all. There we go. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm putting all these O's in good evening. All right, there we go. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, some people call me Mr. Bardui. Well, if you're from the 767 Whitey Kubuli, tall is her body, the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me little boy. If you're from St. Luke's Parish, you call me what? Luku boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. How are you beautiful people doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. I want to say welcome to everyone who's tuning in wherever you're looking from. I don't care where you at. If you're in the Caribbean, if you're in Canada, if you're in the US, if you're in Europe, Mexico, I don't know where you are tonight, but all I can tell you is welcome. I think someone's watching, and I don't know if they're watching yet, but they're going to have to text me, let me know they're watching so I can give them a special shout out, because this person is actually really, really cool, and I want to give them a special shout out. So good evening to everybody. Welcome, man. As we get ready, let me get the theme song ready. I might strum along for you guys. Let's get the theme song ready here as we start the show. You ready? Here we go. Boom. Yeah.
Dominica made me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. Woo! With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I've found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
I want to say welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence, everybody. That's my theme song. I wrote that song. I can't sing, as you all know. I just strummed a little bit. I want to say welcome to all those who are tuning in. I want to give a very special shout out to Tamara who's watching. Welcome all the way from Yard. Good evening. And to all those who've tuning in tonight, Mr. Arvin Vasa, welcome. Peach Goodwill, how are you? Good evening. And to everybody else, I see some other people watching. I want to say welcome, Mr. Charles Robinson. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year. I want to say welcome to another episode with Tuesdays with Terrence. I have some good information for you tonight. It's a new year. Some of you have already contacted me about stuff you want to do for your kids, for your family. I was at a memorial service last week, and someone told me what they want to do for their sons. Someone told me what they want to do for their daughter. So I'm really excited. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. I'm going to do a little political for about 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'm going to get back to the grind. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Thank you so much. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a great Christmas, an awesome New Year. And this is 2026, folks. We can't think of 2025. We're leaving all the negativity in the past. Everything. This is a financial show, but I'm going to get a little philosophical on you tonight. We're going to leave all the negativity in the past, all right? All the things that we did wrong last year, let's forget about it, all right? If you had bad credit last year, forget about it. If you had good credit last year, build on it. There's someone watching right now who got excellent credit. I'm so proud of every one of you. But listen to me, man. This is a special time of year where a lot of people start making resolutions. Now, I'm going to take a quick look at markets and see what happens just before we start. And I'm going to share some information with you. But for those of you who are worried about 401ks and retirements, today, listen, the NASDAQ, today's Tuesday, right? The NASDAQ was up 484.90 points. You made a whole bunch of money today in your 401ks, your stocks, bonds, mutual funds. That was the Dow Jones. I'm sorry, the Dow Jones, not the NASDAQ. That's impossible. Not impossible, but it's gone that high before. But the Dow Jones is at 484.90. The NASDAQ was up 151.53. And the S&P is up 6,000. Sorry, it's up 42.77, which means it's at 6,944. Let's see if that's a high. It says stock futures are a little change after S&P Dow rallied for fresh highs, because the year ended on a down note. You know, it ended on a down note. Last weekend, we had some situation in South America. You know, you all know what happened with Venezuela. I'm not going to talk about politics. I don't talk about politics on my show, but I always give my little 2 cents every now and then. This is not about it. This is about financial literacy. However, tonight I'm going to share some stuff with you, and I pray that you have a pen and paper. So get your pen and paper so you can write some information down for 2026. I want to say good evening to Robin Martin all the way from the Queen City. How you doing, Robin? Happy New Year. How are you? Hope you're doing well. You know, Robin, I still have to come and see you because we were supposed to do something for you last year, and we didn't do it online, and I came to Charlotte a couple of times and I didn't do it. Shame on me. You need to give me one of these. Tis, 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 for not helping you out with what you had requested. But folks, I just want to make it very clear. The markets, I can't read markets, nor can I project what's going to happen. But what I know is global markets, they touch record highs, right? While oil falls in Venezuela. Obviously, you know why. But we're not going to talk about that. I want you to concentrate on what you're going to do better in 2026. Now, it's a new year. I'm going to be very frank. Next month will be 6 years I've been doing this show every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Never missed a show. I've done it sick. I've done it on vacations, anniversaries, birthdays. Sandy's birthday, my birthday. I've done it all kind of times, right? And so I want to say that. But just before I start, I want to give a special shout out. Tomorrow, my son, my eldest, will be 37. So I'm really, really excited about that. Mr. Terrence Bardui, he'll be 37 years old. I got to make a post about that. I will later. That's my firstborn. He's a miracle baby, brilliant guy. He got my ways. He's way smarter than me, way smarter. Could play basketball way better than me. Killer jump shot, killer handle. When he was in 8th grade, he was playing varsity basketball. But I just want to tell you, Havis Terrence Bardui Jr., happy birthday. So you all can say happy birthday to Havis Bardui Jr. My seed. You can put it in the chat if you want to. Happy birthday, son. God bless you. God bless you. Reach out tomorrow for that. Now, getting back to the lecture at hand. All right. Robin said she's doing great. Happy New Year. That is awesome. I just want to say some of you are watching, but you didn't put anything in the chat, so I can't really give you a shout out. If you don't say anything in the chat, I can't really give you a shout out. Okay, I like to shout everyone out. And someone asked me, why do you got to shout everyone out? And you always call out where they're from. I do that because I want everyone who wants Terrence to feel special. I want them to understand that I really care. There's something else they could be doing on a Tuesday night from 7 p.m. I think there's someone watching from St. Martin who I just sent the link to. Miss Carbon, I think you're watching, right? Not on Facebook, or I'm going to say yes. They want to know if you're Carbon, if you're watching, Isabel Joseph Carbon, yes, it's on Facebook as well. I'm streaming on Facebook, my personal page, Havis Bardui, Facebook, my business page, Bardui Financial Services, X, which is formerly Twitter, HTB964, LinkedIn, which is a professional networking page, Havis Bardui, aka H. Terrence Bardui. I'm also streaming on YouTube, Bardui Financial Services on YouTube. For some people don't have Facebook. Some of my siblings are probably watching. I don't know. I send them the link. If you're watching, say something so I can give you a shout out. And also, we're streaming on Instagram as well. I'm going to take a look on Instagram. Let's go live on Instagram right now so people know that we're on. I just put it on Instagram right now so people know what's going on, so they can tune in. But I want to just say thank you all on a Tuesday, the first Tuesday of 2026. I hope you all were good boys and good girls this year. I hope that last year, I should say, I hope Santa was good to you. Santa was good to me. I mean, I got tons of gifts, and I'm very grateful. Thank you to the great Sandy for showering me with gifts. But let me say this to you guys, though. Let me say this. It's a new year. It's a new year. It is 2026. All right? You have to be intentional in 2026. Someone had sent me actually that person, I'm going to send them a text on WhatsApp. They had sent me a request, and they asked me, how can they, how would they say it? save $20,000 next year, right? And I was like, $20,000. That's a lot of money, right? But I'm going to tell them how they can do that. It's really, really important, folks. It's really, really important that people realize it's not about how much you make, it's what you keep. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but I do want to send them a little shout out. I'd send them a text. Let's see, there it is. And maybe they'll tune in, maybe they won't. I don't know. But getting back to the lecture at hand, it's a new year. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you. You watching on YouTube. I love it. And those of you who are watching on my YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel. So, subscribe to it so you can know when it's on. You can tell when it's on. This year, actually, one of the first guests I'm going to bring on, this lady actually texted me. It's about credit repair. I'm going to talk to her about that. And then I'm going to be some realtors online and some of my colleagues, other things this year. I'm at a crossroads, though. I've been doing this for 6 years next month, and I don't know if I'm going to end it. So you guys gonna have to tell me if you don't want me to end this crusade. You got to tell me, because sitcoms usually come to an end. The Cosby Show, the Jeffersons, Good Times, even Dynasty. The only thing that never ends is the soap operas. General Hospital, One Life to Live, all my children. They still got all that stuff. That stuff never end. But I want to make sure that I don't oversaturate the market with the same information I've been doing for a long time. For 6 years, I've been encouraging people to save through using non-traditional concepts. I talk a lot about living benefits. I talk about, in-service rollovers and a lot of those things I'm going to talk about. But in 2026, I need you to be intentional about saving money. Intentional. I've set some crazy goals for myself this year. I can't tell you what it is because you're not, no disrespect to any of you, but you're not my accountability partners. There's only 3 people that I told what my goals are, and they hold me accountable. Those 3 people, they hold me accountable. Mr. Morris Bonner, National Life Group, Mr. Terry Moore, American Classic Agency, and Mrs. Sandy Bardui. Those 3 people, they be checking on me. They be making sure I am fooling around. But I can't tell all you guys what my goals are. But what I can tell you is this year, me and my colleague, Mr. Terry Moore, looked at how much money we could make in bonus money. So the thing about bonus money is that we want to bank it. So therefore, in 2026, I want to see a lot of you guys banking money. Let me explain what I mean by that. Some of you don't want to do what I've been saying about using non-traditional concepts, which is life insurance, to use that concept to build wealth. You all don't want to do that. Some of you guys want to use banks and credit unions, and I'm not mad at you. All I know is that when you do that, people can see what you have. People can't see. But I want you guys, I don't care where and how you save it, though. I want you to start saving. So this month, you don't have to tell me. Good evening, Miss Felicia Lisa Starr, my business partner. Good to see you. How are you? You don't have to tell me how much money you want to save this year, right? You don't have to tell me, right? Now, what I want each and every one of you to do, though, I don't want you to put it in the chat. I don't want, because people too nosy. Now, you write it down on a piece of paper. Now, those of you who trust me exclusively, and some of you watching, I know you do, because you tell me personal information, financial information, professional information. Those of you who tell me how much money you want to save, you got to either do it through a DM. You can't put it in the message. You can't say it on this chat. You can't put it in the YouTube or the LinkedIn, Instagram. You can't put it there. You got to put it. You got to give me a direct message. Those of you who are looking at, you're like, what's your number? Well, if you keep looking at this, what's scrolling at the bottom, you see my number, and it's on there. My business number and my personal number is there as well. My cell phone, which is, it's a WhatsApp as well. And I'm going to I'm going to teach you guys how to save some money this year, because every year we're talking about, well, new me, new year. I'm going to do this. You know what? Half of the time, like someone told me the other day, just like on New Year's, everybody runs to the gym, and come by January 22nd or 29th, nobody's going no more. So I don't want you to set goals that you cannot achieve. Nor do I want you to set goals that you're not going to keep. I want you to set goals that's manageable, measurable, and you can even measure it monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. So it doesn't matter if you want to save $3,000 this year. It doesn't matter if you want to save 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 or 25. I know I have a problem spending. You see, a lot of us think we have a money problem. No, we have a spending problem, not a money problem. Some of us are making a lot of money, right? But we're spending it frivolously and foolishly, all right? And then when a rainy day comes, you know, I don't want to say we're begging, but we're technically begging. We're asking Tom, Dick, and Harry, Sally, Susie, and Susanna. And my point I'm trying to say to you is that nothing is wrong with, life happens sometimes, right? And there's some people that you trust that you can go to. But how about if you had your own private stash? Your ability to save, this month we have our kickoff. American Classic Agency going to have our kickoff in Jacksonville, Florida. And, it's like, if I tell you, this one colleague of ours, will not call his name, there's one colleague of ours, today was payday. If I tell you what his paycheck was, you'll have a heart attack. I'm going to say this. His paycheck is not the amount that all of us are going to want to save this year combined. Even if we say we want to save 100,000, his paycheck is more than that. We want to save 200,000, more than that. 300, 500,000 is more than that. My point I'm trying to make is not how much you make, it's what you save. So I don't care what your job is. Are you an educator? Are you are you in food services? Are you retired? Do you have a disability? Are you working for the government? Are you a realtor? Are you in production? Are you, I don't know, working for daycare? I don't care what you do. But every pay period, if you're not saving nothing, you have no one to blame but yourself. No one to blame but yourself, because you know what? We spend money on what we want. Now you work hard and it's your money, and I can respect that. But what I want you to do is to take a vested interest in saving. So for those of you who want me to help you this year, we're going to do it month by month. You're going to have to send me a personal message on WhatsApp, Messenger, TikTok, Instagram. I don't know. Whatever kind of personal messages you can send. Don't put it in the chat. It's no one's business. And I'm not going to put your business out either. I have a fiduciary responsibility, even though you're my client or not my client, to keep your information private. But what I do know is all of us needs to save. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to save. Let me rephrase that. How much I want to save this year. Because last year I was just spending like it was free, like it was giving out free government cheese. And I'm not doing that anymore. There comes a time in our lives where we have to change the trajectory of what we're doing, what we're thinking, how we act, how we react. Some of us need to start working on our credit. I said some of us. I didn't say some of you. Some of us. We need to work on that. Some of us need to learn to say no. Just say no. You remember they had a drug campaign on the Bush back in the day? Just say no to drugs. Well, just say no to some people. There is something that if you go to I don't know if it's on WhatsApp yet, or I think it may have been on my TikTok. I saw someone post this, right? And it was funny. Let me see if I can find it. so I can laugh with you guys. You know how sometimes you may have sent a message and you sent it to the wrong person? We've all done that, right? So it says this message was deleted. And the person says, "What did you delete?" And the person who deleted the information said, "Borrow me money." So the person said, "Okay, delete again." This year you have to be intentional, folks. If you if you're not saving for yourself, you can't lend anybody anything. Anybody. If you're not saving for yourself, you can't lend anybody anything. That's one of the rules for this year. And if somebody asks you, I have a colleague who said if somebody asks him, they'll ask him, "What is it for?" You know, what is it for? And he said he may have it, but not for you. He may have it, but not for you. He also said he may not give you what you ask for, even if he has it. So what I'm saying to you guys is in 2026, you got to save. You got to create your piggy bank. You remember when we were kids, we had those little piggy bank? We used to put quarters in. But for some of you, if you're in the continental United States, you can use, the concepts that I teach, an infinite banking concept. But if you're not in the United States, I don't care where you are. Every country have banks and credit unions. You don't want to save it under your mattress because someone might borrow it permanently. But nowadays, every country have ATM cards. So you probably want to open an account where you can't get to it and you don't want no ATM card. You don't. It has to be a dire emergency for you to access that. And you see how Uncle Sam don't trust you? You shouldn't trust yourself either. Now listen to me. Some of you might say, "What do you mean by that, Havis? What do you mean by that, Terrence? What do you mean by that, H? What do you mean by that, Mr. Bardui? What do you mean by that, little boy? What do you mean by that, Luku boy from Dominica, Jalapointe?" What I mean by that is because the government don't trust you, they take their taxes first. You got to pay FICA, state, federal, Social Security, all that stuff, right? Coming out, right? So be the same with yourself. Don't trust yourself. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm saying don't trust yourself because you have to pay yourself. You have to. If you're in a deficit, some of us may be in a deficit right now. If you're in a deficit right now, when you get out on that deficit and work hard to get out of that deficit, pay yourself. Make it reasonable, measurable. Don't go too high that you can't sustain it, folks. Don't do that. In 2026, we're going to have a different mindset. We're not going to have a scarcity mindset. We're going to have an abundance mindset. One of the scriptures in the Bible said, his favorite scripture says, Philippians 4:13, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." I can do all things through Christ. Well, if you believe, everyone's watching now, believe in a God. Well, if you don't believe in Jesus, or you believe in some God, or whatever you believe in, right? Do you think you get inspiration from that? Well, if you do, use that inspiration to better your financial situation in 2026. I'm not going to be hopping on telling people don't do this and don't do that. I'm not doing that this year. Y'all are all grown. Y'all are all grown. All of you are grown. So am I. And we have to be responsible. We have to be responsible. Folks, I'm telling you, I have a spending problem. This is therapy tonight. But I teach financial concepts and I teach people how to save. I was just talking to a little client of mine that I have to see tomorrow. And who recently lost their job, but the client is solid financially. You know why? Because for the last 40 or more years, they've been saving. Last 45, almost last 50 years, they've been saving. So they got laid off, but they're good to go because they were a saver. So what you got to do, you got to think about the rainy days. Some people don't want to think about rainy days. I love the rain. I'm a pluviophile. A pluviophile is a lover of rain. I love the rain for a multitude of reasons. Don't ask me why. It's none of your business. But I love the rain. Like if you're from the Caribbean, there's the zinc on the roof. We call it galvanized in Dominica. When the rain falls on it, it's therapeutic. It's even erotic for some people, right? But my point I'm trying to say here, rain can be good and rain can be bad. If you have a hurricane, we just had Melissa, right? Tore up Jamaica and Cuba and, and some of the countries down there, But rain is good too. There's a song that says, in every life, some rain must fall. But we're not talking about that kind of rain. I'm talking about saving for, that time when you want to do something special. And let me tell you something that I learned. A lot of you don't incentivize, I should say, yourselves. In other words, you don't treat yourself. So let me explain what I mean by that. I'm not saying that you got to go to Dubai every month or Jamaica or Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, or Hawaii, or you have to buy Louis Vuittons and all that. I'm not saying you're making the money and it's in your budget, do it. But what I'm saying, you have to treat yourself. Some people, they treat themselves by getting manicures, pedicures, getting their hair done, for self-care. You got to take care of yourself. Massages, trips, but don't spend it all, but make sure you give yourself a little incentive. When you've done well, when you've reached certain milestones, you need to change what you're doing. What I mean by that, change what you're doing when you meet certain milestones, meaning give yourself a cookie, figuratively speaking and literally speaking. If you don't eat cookies, find something to treat yourself with. But it doesn't have to be something extravagant. And some of you have to learn to tell certain family members no. I don't care if it's children, siblings, cousins, aunties, uncles, friends, co-workers. No. You don't do it like me. Don't say no. Just say, Johnny or Susie, no, I can't. And let me explain something to you guys. For all you English majors and your great, linguistics, linguists out there, no is a complete sentence. Like halt. I mean, stop. It's a complete sentence. So no. So you don't have to explain yourself. When you tell someone no, you don't have to. Why do you have to explain yourself while you're telling someone no? Because you know what's funny? If you're going to explain yourself, listen to this, what I'm about to say. Write this down. For those of you who are watching tonight, write this down. If you're going to have to explain yourself to tell someone no, you're going to have to explain to that same person why you need your money back. Is that a B? Isn't that a something? How are you going to have to explain to someone for something that belongs to you? Because you were kind-hearted, nice, want to help. Folks, every situation is different. There's some situations you got to help. I have clients who help family members. I have friends who do each other as well. I'm not here to dictate to you who and when to help. I'm here to educate you that you got to save and you got to learn to say no, because you know what takers do? They take. And givers, you know what givers do? They give. They never stop giving. And takers never stop taking. The takers, they never stop taking. You see what? You could be helping them 550 million times. The one time you don't help them, they think you're an SOB. So listen to me, folks. Concentrate on you. It's 2026. It's a new year. Some of you probably have made resolutions, probably have already broken them. I didn't make no resolutions this year. My church is having a prayer and fast. I'm not participating in it. My denomination, my conference is having a 40-day of prayer and fasting. I'm not doing it. It's not that I don't pray and fast. I haven't fasted this year, but it's just that I want to do it on my terms. Some people give up sweets, some people give up this, some people give up that. I'm not, I'm not giving up nothing. What I'm going to do is be more intentional, set goals, measurable goals. You see, a goal without a plan is just a wish. I wish I had a Lamborghini. I wish I had a new car. I wish I had a house. I wish my credit was better. I wish I had more money. I wish I could say all of those. A goal without a plan, folks, is just a wish. I wish people wouldn't treat me that way. You know what? Set boundaries and stand to it. If your boundaries, no. When people come, the answer is no. Now, there's some people who are good for it, but you know that. You get to control that. But have boundaries. Boundaries, your property line around your property line around your property, it's not to keep you out. It's to keep interlopers out, strangers out, people who want to hurt you out, burglars out. Boundaries are not for you, it's for them. Learn to say no. Don't do it like me. Say it in a nice way. No, Johnny. Don't say no like me. No, Susie. And keep it moving. We have a siblings call every Friday night, after Sabbath school lesson study, we have a siblings call. We were talking about that last week, a couple of weeks ago, I think. One of my younger sisters said, I don't give excuses or explanations for my no's. Now, some of you can't do that, but you have to practice it. Just like you have to practice saving. You know what? Some people think saving $5 is not enough. It's something. $10, $25. Save something, man. Save. And don't let people run game on you. Well, what had happened was my cousin's dog and my cat is this and no, I'm sorry, Johnny, I can't. Now, if you choose to help someone, that's on you. And I'm not saying who you should and should not. What I'm trying to say to you is you gotta have boundaries. You gotta be intentional in 2026. You have to be. Tomorrow I have 3 appointments. One is a review with a young man. Yeah, he texted me tonight. I'm trying to get him to come on my show, but he said he's not one for the cameras. I would love for him to come on and don't even show his face. I could do that. I could hide his face. Or just have him sit in the background and just talk to me. He could put an alias name. But this young man, I'm so freaking proud of him. He became my client at 29. And the person who referred me to him is now dead. Childhood friend, distant cousin. I haven't seen in 48 years. Almost 50 years. And this young man, when I spoke with him, he took my advice. And we have an annual review tomorrow. And his stuff is growing nicely. And believe me, I would never tell his business, none of your business, but he's not saving $5 or $10 or $20 or $100 or $200 or $500 or $1,000. He's saving more than that. And the reason why he's doing that, because he has a plan. A goal without a plan is just a wish. I showed him how he can retire before retirement age and get tax-free money if he chooses to, not including his Social Security or any other forms of investments that he has. That young man, I'm so proud of him. At 29, he was a homeowner and he also owned a business. He loves his motorcycles, but I'm so proud of him, man. All of us have our own special niche. Every single one of us. And every Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I come on this show and I talk about different concepts. Tonight I want to talk about. We talked a little bit about emergency savings and saving for a rainy day. Um, I'm going to switch gears now and talk about if you're between the ages of 18 and 50, I consider you young. Between 18 and 50, I consider you young. Because if you're 50 years old and you're in the United States of America, in theory, you can retire at 70 if you want to. Your Social Security will be higher, right? So you have 20 years. But some people say, I might not live that long. I don't know. You got 67, you have 65. Even if you did 65, that's 15 years. You have some time to, older folks are the ones who don't have time. They got to do a lot more. The younger you are, you don't have to put as much in. Now, put more in if you can. Don't be foolish. I don't give advice to young people about, starting families. I don't, that's not my call. It's not my call. But if you had a child young or two, but you're not bettering yourself professionally, you're the problem. Now, I'm going to get in trouble for saying what I'm about to say next. I've always said, a woman can't make a child by herself, but she can prevent a guy from having a child with her by telling him no. Just say no. You know how guys are. We got the sweet mouth, the sweet tongues. Hey, Brownin, hey, you're looking good, and they tell you everything sweet, everything nice. But my point is, if you already have, and I know some people like that, young folks, who may have a child, and then they put themselves in a predicament again, get another one, and they kind of like, and I'm saying to myself, okay, no child is a mistake, by the way. No child is a mistake. That's a consequence of the action. All right? That's the consequence of the action. And you pour into that child and you love into that child and you do the best that you want for that child. But also, you have to start worrying about taking care of you, because there's going to come a day where your child's going to become older and they're going to find a boo. Some dude's going to whisper sweet nothings in their ear, or some girl's going to sweep them off their feet, and they're going to go start their family. I know a lot of parents who sacrifice their lives for their kids, and God bless you all. But there have to come a point in your life where you have to start thinking about you and doing something for the benefit of you. Some of your children are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and they got to start doing something for themselves. They got to. You nurtured them, you've helped them, you've fed them. Some of you educated them. But there comes a time, you see birds, when they have a baby bird, they bring food for them into that, they feed them in the little nest, and after a while, they got to get their wings and fly. So for those of you who've done that, I applaud you. I applaud you. Some of you have to do it by yourself. Some of you do not have the help. It takes two to make it, right? So two got to help, right? But some of you, I applaud you. All the ladies, or even in some cases, men, but mostly women, who had to raise it by themselves. I don't like the term single parent, because if the mother or the father is still there, they're just not in the life. Because you can't make a baby by yourself. So, folks, in 2026, I want to see each and every one of us be intentional of telling people no. I want to see each and every one of us intentional of saving. Some of you may have to text me and tell me how much money you want to save this year. Some of you, I might text you and tell you. Some. It's very few and far between. But listen, folks, it gives me great pride to educate, to teach people the concepts that they need to put in place in order to have a more productive, be a more productive member in their family or in society or financially. I know things are hard. Gas is high, groceries are high, food is high. Yeah, you can go out and eat sometimes, but not every day. You can go to a concert, but not every concert. You can't go see Beyonce in 10 different cities. I think the tickets are like $5,000 or whatever it is. But all I'm saying to you guys is simply this. In 2026, let us all purpose in our hearts to be more intentional in saving. Some people want me to show them on this platform. I will never do that because if I use a guinea pig in the chat right now, I got to start asking them questions. Then you know their business. It's none of your business. That's their business. So in 2026, what are we going to do? We're going to not learn. We're going to say no. We're going to be intentional. We are going to set goals. We're going to save. And number 5 that I haven't said yet, if you don't have a budget, someone told me the other day they have a budget in their head. And it blew my mind because I was like, you don't have no. I almost said friggin' budget. Your budget can't be in your head. You don't have a spreadsheet. You don't know how to use a spreadsheet. Write it down on a piece of paper and put it in your book. You want it private. You don't want nobody to see. Put it under your bed. Write it in your phone. And whatever you want to do, if it's not in your budget, you can't afford it. If you want to afford it, you got to budget for it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? If you want to afford it, you got to budget for it. If it's not in your budget, you can't afford it. I don't care if it's $5. If it's not in your budget, you may have a discretionary line for incidentals. It could be gifts, family, friends. But if it's okay, you all are scared to tell people no, say it's not in the budget. Do you know when something is not in the budget for the government? Did they have a government shutdown last year? The longest government shutdown ever? They didn't budget for it, right? They had to make a church. I'm the chairman of our finance committee, and we have budgets. We have a budget meeting coming up this week. And we have to make sure stuff are in the budget. If it's not in the budget and something comes up and it's an incidental, it's not in the budget. No. It's the same thing in your personal life at home. So my friends, people who are my friends, not everyone that I know are my friends. Some people are acquaintances. Some people are just, we go to church together, or we work together, we may be business partners, but not really friends. But my friends, I don't think I have any friend, a true friend, who's like so frivolous that they just do anything with their money. I don't think I do. And if I do have a friend like that, they don't ask me for financial advice because we would be fighting. Because I'd be telling them, nah. Because I'm very transparent when it comes to those things. And I say bluntly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you to make you feel good. I need you to understand that as an adult, you need to be responsible. And, I remember I told you guys tomorrow my son will be 37, my oldest son. We got 3 kids. We have 5, but I have 3, right? But guess what? I remember when he was in school, growing up, high school, junior high. Man, this dude, he never asked for Nikes or this or that. Whatever I bought him, that's what he wore. Now he's a grown man. He's working. He can buy whatever he wants to. But now he couldn't bully me. I've seen kids. I saw a video on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook where this kid went off. He broke whatever they gave me. I didn't ask for that. I don't want that. I saw another one where a parent bought a kid a BMW, and um, um, the SUV, and the kid went off. That's the what I wanted. I wanted a Tesla. Like, but you know what? Though, when I see situations and things like that, I don't blame the kids. I blame the parents, because there was no way in hell my kid was going to do that. Because there's no way in hell I was going to say that to my parents either. Because sometimes you have to instill the child. You have to let sometimes you can't. Your children are not your friends. They're your children. Now, you may die for them, take a bullet for them, but they're not your friends. They're your children. And they have to be respectful. And I think all my friends' kids are respectful. But some of you may allow your children or your whomever take advantage of you, and it has to stop. This is 2026, man. I remember when Y2K was coming, the year 2000. Everybody was da 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 da. It's 26 years ago. Remember Prince party like it's 1999? It's 26 years ago. So if you had a kid in 1999, and I did, he's 26. He's 26. In September coming, he'll be 27. You're grown now. You got to make your decisions. Folks, it's paramount that in 2026, you are intentional about saving money. I don't care if it's 5, 10, 15, 25, 50, 100, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 per period. I don't know how much money you all make, but you got to save something. You don't want to do it per pay period. Do it monthly. I'd rather you do it per pay period, because you know what? I don't trust none of y'all to be disciplined. Uncle Sam don't trust you all, and some of you all are good people. Some of you all are better people than me. Uncle Sam don't trust you. Good evening, Miss Carmen Joseph, all the way in Antigua. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you. Folks, you got to save for a rainy day. Something. This year, I'm going to be intentional. And if you all see me living large this year, say, yo, are you with him? Hit me up personally, a DM or personal text, and say, are you within budget, Mr. Havis Terrence Bardui, Mr. H. Terrence Bardui, Mr. Little Boy, Mr. Luku Boy, Mr. Jean Lapointe, Mr. Point Michel from the parish of St. Luke. Are you within budget? I won't get mad at you. Some of you, I'm not going to say that to you all because I'm not your accountability partner. There's someone watching right now who everything I've told them to do, they've done. It doesn't mean they don't have hardships. It doesn't mean that they don't have situationships. It doesn't mean that, life doesn't happen, but they've done it. And they told me, and this is not me tooting my horn, that's what I was told. I was told, I wish I met you when I was in my 20s. I was like, wow. Back then, I was a young banker in Boston, Massachusetts. But today, I'm a licensed financial pro showing you non-traditional concepts that you can use. Some of you need to protect your income with living benefits. If you have debt, I was talking to someone at church yesterday who's going to refer your child to me about debt elimination. And I'm going to talk to that individual about legacy creation. Creating generational wealth should be something that every parent should do, but they should structure it properly so that your children or your grandchildren don't frivolously spend it. If you notice, the wealthy families, you can call them out, the Rothschilds, the Kennedys, the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, they never run out of money. You know why? Because their families didn't just give them money. They set it up in a way. They created, these living trusts, revocable trusts, some of them irrevocable trusts. And they started using non-traditional financial concepts, and they just dumped money in there. And every time a new family member was born, they got, something for them, and they just, When they die, the money goes back in there. But the family tree, the family trust has money to start business. Wouldn't it be nice if each and every one of you, if your child wanted to be an entrepreneur, you could say, here you go, here's $200,000 to start, or $500,000. The wealthy do it. Folks, you can have a broke mindset, or you can have a wealthy mindset. And let me explain what I mean by that. It doesn't mean wealth for some people may not be millions of dollars. It might be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay? But what I'm saying to you is make sure you change your trajectory for 2026. It's a new year. Happy New Year. Let's change. Let's say no. So again, what we're going to do, we're going to save. We're going to say no. We're going to be intentional. We're going to create a budget. What am I missing? We're going to say no. We're going to be intentional. We're going to say no. We're going to be intentional. We're going to save. We're going to create a budget. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Go back and listen. You'll get it. I don't even remember what I said right now. I'm so hyped. But listen, folks. It's a new year. Don't let 2026 find you how 2025 ended. And listen, some of you don't be scared to question me in private, in a DM. Hey, Terrence, I see you talking all this smack. Are you being honest to what you're saying for yourself as well? I'm working on a case right now. As a matter of fact, the person texted me yesterday, tell me Happy New Year, or the day before. And I wanted to call him tonight, but I want to call him tomorrow to reach out. It's a huge case. But when that comes to fruition, I already know what I'll be paid when it comes, providing they do exactly what I said. Then I'll have a bonus as well. I'm banking that bonus. Now, what I make, I gotta save some of it as well. You got to take care of your expenses, right? Your living expenses, But you got to make sure that you save. So tonight, as we close, folks, turn my speaker on. As we close in 2026, because I got to make a call. I got to go text someone in a minute. They sent me a special text. I got to go respond to it in reference to something that has none of your business. But my point is this. As you move forward in 2026, be intentional, save, budget. Be intentional, save, budget. Be intentional, save, budget, say no. And finally, the fifth one, make sure you don't let anyone give you a 6 for a 9. You know what that means? A 6 is an upside down 9. Don't let people fool you with their foolishness. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. If you're from the 767 YT Kubuli, tall is her body, the Commonwealth of Dominica, and you're from Point Michel, the village I'm from, the parish of St. Luke, you call me little boy. But in patois, Dominican patois is Luku boy. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. So tonight, as we close and I play my theme song, I want you to know that 2026 is your year, the year of intentionality, the year of saying no, the year of making sure that nobody give you a 6 for a 9, the year of budgeting, the year of getting your credit right, the year of saving, and the year of rewarding yourself when you do well. On that note, one love. Hasta la vista, babies. Good night.
Dominica made me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. Woo! The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, especially the first time listeners. Mr. Barr, all the way in Jamaica, thank you so much. And all other, whether you're in Dominica, whether you're in Antigua, whether you're in St. Martin, Canada, Europe, the United States of America, God bless you.
So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
Good night. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Like and share if I touch you tonight. Peace. I'm out. Hasta la vista.